Can you fully heal from MS holistically without just treating your symptoms? Yes, you can. Let's talk about it. Here is an email that I received. I'm going to read it to you guys and then I'm going to break down how you can heal. Hi, Eric. I was diagnosed with MS back in 2019. My symptoms are major fatigue, numbness in my hands and feet. I feel disoriented most of the day. I suffer from depression, and my hands and feet are very sensitive to heat. What can I do? First, I'm going to break down these symptoms and then I'll tie everything together. Okay, so major fatigue. The first place we have to look at is the nervous system. Whenever we're dealing with major fatigue, we're dealing with nervous system weakness. Now, what is produced by the body that helps to increase neurological performance? Neurotransmitters. Okay, so we're talking about the brain and we're talking about the adrenals. In MS, the adrenals and the brain, mostly the cerebellum, are always involved. A really helpful tool for this would be iridology, but I'll circle back to this in a minute. So you mentioned numbness in your hands and feet. If I do an iridology analysis on you, I'm probably going to see lesions in your spine. I would actually recommend you go and see a chiropractor. It's just a good idea to make sure that everything is in line. When the lymphatic system is backed up, which is always the case with MS, it can not only pull on the spine, but it also can contribute to things like numbness. You mentioned that you are disoriented most of the day. Again, this is cerebellum. And now depression. So when we're talking about neurological cases, we're talking about calcium utilization, the parathyroid, especially in the case of depression, and also the thyroid gland, which produces calcitonin, which stimulates osteoblasts. Calcium is correlated with connective tissue and holding everything into place, right? The skeletal system. Well, it also plays a role in nerve transmission. This is why you see calcium utilization is very important with MS, right? Connective tissue and nervous system. You also mentioned your hands being very sensitive to heat. Okay, this is neurological weakness as well as systemic acidosis. Okay, now keeping all of that in mind, where do we begin? With your diet. When you are dealing with MS, you are always dealing with systemic acidosis and lymphatic stagnation. There are two sides to chemistry. There is the alkaline side and there is the acidic side. There's also the base, but we'll just keep it simple and say alkaline and acidic. In the case of MS, you are dealing with severe nerve damage caused by systemic acidosis. This means that the foods that you have been consuming over many, many years, as well as environmental pollution, as well as toxins, mold exposure, I mean, it's different for every individual, but the consumption, right, what your body has been absorbing has been acid forming for a very long time. In the case of MS, your eliminative pathways, your detox pathways, are not functioning optimally. So when all you're bringing into your body is producing more waste, and that waste can't go anywhere, it's going to produce an acidic environment, and acids are corrosive, so they will do things like burn. They will burn the nervous system, they will burn your joints, they will cause a plethora of symptoms. This is why just trying to find a special herb to heal your MS is not going to work. Holistic means all encompassing. We have to deal with the diet, and then we bring in the herbal medicine. The easiest foods for the human body to digest really is fruit. Fruit is alkaline forming and it is so nutritious, especially the berries in the case of MS, right? Berries are excellent for the nervous system, excellent for the adrenal glands, and they are easy to process. You want to eat foods that are alive and that are going to bring energy into your system. This is key. This is step one. Once you are addressing that, right, you're starting to change the environment within your body, that is when it would be very important, especially in the case of MS, to bring in herbal medicine. Iridology would be a very powerful tool to include. Down below is one of my patients who made a full recovery from MS, and this was a game changer for us. Not only are we seeing a parathyroid involvement, we're seeing the adrenals, right? We're seeing nerve rings, so her nervous system was also affected. And we are also seeing the pituitary gland, the body's master gland, was playing a major role in this patient's MS. I was also able to see specifically which brain lesions this person was suffering with. We have the equilibrium, okay, we have acquired mental speech, sensory locomotion. These are pretty common in the case of MS. It is very important to realize that when you're dealing with MS, two people can have very different compromises. Why is that? Because two people can have very different diets, right? People were exposed to different toxins. Maybe one was a smoker, one was a drinker, maybe one had more stress, maybe one ate more junk food, right? So there's no one size fits all herbal protocol for MS that doesn't exist. However, there is dealing with the compromises within your body while you're eating the diet that is conducive to your body healing. So yes, it is possible to fully heal from MS if you address everything altogether. If you're eating a diet that is conducive to healing and then you bring in herbal medicine specific to your body, in 3 months you can be a completely different person. If you are actually dedicated, you're not cheating, you're not eating fast food and junk food and things of that sort. If you are truly dedicated, you can see change very, very quickly. Again, it is fully possible to heal. If you're interested in seeing some testimonial videos, click the link in my bio to go to my website, and then you can click on the drop down menu and click on testimonials. You can also click this Work with Eric button if you're interested in working with me on your healing plan. Also, guys, TikTok might be going away very soon, so if you're interested in this kind of content, be sure to follow me on my other social media platform. You can find that information on my profile.